He's at the age for early intervention, which is special ed from 3 to 6. You should let him get it. And even though I'm not a fan of special ed, I am a fan of early intervention when it's necessary. If your son gets some of that help now, his delays may not be as pronounced when he gets to kindergarten. But what I want you to know is when he gets to kindergarten, you can request another evaluation at the kindergarten transition meeting to see if your son needs full-time special ed when he begins grade school. I know Down syndrome children who were still able to learn in the regular class with a one-on-one aide at the front of the class with a teacher who knows how to differentiate instruction. Here's what I want you to understand, and everybody else in here. In the United States of America, you cannot qualify for special ed unless you have a disability, which your son has as Down syndrome. But the disability must affect his ability to learn in the regular class. If your child is ADHD and they don't have a problem learning in the regular class, they cannot go to special ed. If your child has a speech problem and they can learn in the regular class, they should not be in special ed. Your son has Down syndrome. Even if he has a little bit of a challenge in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, my question to you is going to be, as the school psychologist, if we gave your son a one-to-one aid, and if this teacher was a little bit more deliberate with the instruction for your son, if he sat in the same class with the regular students, do you think he could make it? And if you say yes, then your son needs to be in the regular class. He might get pulled out part-time. He might get pulled out itinerantly for extra help. But do not let them trap your son in a full-time, all-day special ed class if you think he can make it with the regulars. And why is it the law don't want the kids in special ed all day? Because if your son is in a class with other children with severe disabilities, he loses his ability to know what it means to be normal. The reason we want him around the regular kids so he will continue to try to improve to the level where they are. It's like putting an emotionally disturbed kid in an emotional support class. He's going to get worse because the behaviors of the other children are going to rub off on him. So you took my number. You make sure you stay in touch with me because at every stage, you're going to be sending me these evals. We're going to talk. Because he's black, they're going to try to full-time special educate him. But I want you to know that they can't do that if you don't allow them. Keep watching your son. So when he gets to kindergarten, you say, you know what, Dr. Umar? I'm not convinced he can't make it. And then you know what we're going to say? We're going to tell them the first marking period, he's going to be in a regular class. So we can find out what he can and can't. Now, if he struggles, we'll put him in special ed the second marking period. But for the first marking period, we're going to let this boy show us if he can swim or not. Don't give him a life preserver until you know how many feet of water he can get in. And that's for every parent in here. Stop letting them put your children in special ed all day long. Not only is it illegal, it is wrong. Who's